is that there seems to be several references to caution of not over-preserving and going over your target. But it seemed that I'm interested, I guess, to know how many different preserved farms are possible if you have a 14,500 acre number to work within and you have 250 acres.
Well, that's quoting Laura and her figures. Our planner gave us a different figure, and that's why I want to just meet with Laura and see what she's counting, see what the planner's counting, because I want to come out to the same number. I don't have those figures here, and I'm not just going to agree or disagree with Laura. I want to just meet with her and try to do the prudent thing to see where we are. As far as being gun shy with preservation, gun is not your gun shy with preservation. I want to make sure that we want to make sure that we are prioritizing properties that are going to be benefiting Franklin Township. I'm truthfully not worried about the state or the county. I'm concerned about Franklin. If the state and the county had their way, they would preserve every property in Franklin Township because it has the best soils, the best drainage, whatever like that. They use it for the aquifers and everything like that. I understand that. But at what cost it is to the residents that are living here,
nothing if they pay for it,
paying taxes to try and upkeep everything in the municipality. In my state, what I'm stating to the other representatives of the county and the state, if you're willing to preserve the properties, that the owner of the properties benefit from monetarily benefiting. The residents of the municipality are not, because that farm is preserved forever and it's off our tax rolls forever. If there's any way that we can get some funds on a continual basis to try and help replenish some of that, so it lessens the burden on residents.
so he wants them to buy and then also pay.
And that's what we're trying, and that's where the delicate balance is.
I'm interested, how does preserving, and now it comes off the potential tax base that it was developed. And if it's tax assessed, farmland assessed, you're not making anything off of anything.
Right, true.
So I'm interested, where is that calculation coming out that the township is losing significantly by preserving it? It is farm assessed before and it's farm assessed.
The reason why, because farmland assessed is an every year basis. Farmland preserved is lifetime. So in other words,
Is the township, is it realistic for the township to hold out the hope that somebody will let that land slip into 250 acres, slip into a higher tax bracket, and so in other words, is it the township's idea that it would be preferable that it was developed and become a higher tax bracket instead of that?
Not in that property, but I'm talking about other properties within the township, because
Well, I'm talking about that.
Yeah, that's that
I
property.
don't want to have a discussion on this property, because we really, like, to Mike's point, we don't have an application.
That's not the point.
You have an application from the state.
The question is it preferable,
He has an application of interest from the state. No, he did. She told me downstairs. She told me she handed him the paper. She handed him a paper. All he has to do is say
Or
yes.
because if you want to raise into tax base, I think
Nope.
that's something that
There's a paper.
needs to be made plain. Because you had a whole room of people here that are not happy with it.
And I would agree on that, but
And the other option is preserving it. You have, it's farm assessed before and it's farm assessed after.
I was talking about farmland preservation and farmland assessed on an overall market basis, not property specific. That property might fall into the prioritization
He's got an
of a
interested
property
buyer.
to be preserved.
Yep.
Once we talk with the state and the county and have those discussions, because we also have to see what other properties the state and the county are targeting, and also what's in our municipal plan, what we're targeting for preservation.
When you refer to trying to deal with the state, just to clarify, are you trying to say that the township would be more inclined to support it if they know that they have the state on board? Are you waiting for a nod from the state?
No.
He got that. No, he has that. He has a paper.
But I mean, the state would preserve any piece of property.
Yeah, the state is interested.
The state has made that recommendation, and we have a list of properties, that the state gave us that are basically prioritizing from the county, the state, and the municipality that they're targeting for development, not for development, for preservation.
I don't understand.
And that's where we wanna have a discussion to see if it does meet the criteria, that it meets the state and the municipality criteria.
What are your criteria?
On that end. And
What
then
are-
also,
If the state wants to preserve it,
They
and
do.
it's between you and the state, it's on you then to make up your mind.
Yes.
right, yes. And in this, and again, I'm not specifically speaking of this property, but if there's other properties that the state wants preserved that have a higher
Who's one
priority,
person? He's not the.
that would take precedent over this property, but we haven't had a discussion with the state to see what other properties they're looking to preserve. Do you know what I'm
We
saying?
only have so much money to spend on preservation.
Who
And
does?
there's only so much, not only money, it's not the money,
We
that's
also only have so much land.
so much land to preserve in order to have some development. The way I think preservation should have done, preservation on county roads and state roads should have taken a less of a priority, because that's where development should be taking place on county and state roads. So they don't go into the heart of the municipality, in the heart of communities.
Yeah, but it's not what
You know, so basically, the communities in the center are farmland and then the rolling hills where most of the population is. You want what our forefathers did in the Franklin Township. They had commercial zones up north and up south, down south, that really did not affect the main of Franklin Township.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, in response to that, without having any more information than was presented and living there,
Yeah.
that when you look at that map, it's almost a horseshoe, and the one
Right.
piece that's missing is that.
Right, and that's where we want to see, is if it meets the state guidelines and it's high on their priority list. But also you have to have, this case, the seller passed in 2014, withdrew the application. The current sellers don't want to preserve it. The prospective owner, sorry, the prospective buyer wants to preserve it, but there's nothing saying that there's gonna be an agreement between the prospective buyer and the heirs of the current owner. They have to come to an agreement without us being involved.
But my understanding, and I've heard that previously, that the buyers are interested in coming to this, buying it.
What you mean,
The prospective buyers are interested in buying the property and then preserving it with the state.
How many other farms are for sale right now that are?
Once they sell it, sold, if I buy that place, then I go to the state, whoever I is, and I could, so.
So that's what we're saying, we're waiting for that to happen.
What are you waiting for?
Before we make a decision, but we're also waiting to see where the priorities are in terms of what should be preserved. And yes, that is a piece of the contiguous horseshoe, but there are other areas of the township that are not shown on that that also have contiguous farms, and there are other farms that we have been
None are
told
for
in the
sale.
past, you know, like, if we can get this land, that is
How many
the
are for
piece
sale?
of property to get. So we need to make some decisions.
Are any of those for sale?
Yeah, so we need to make,
Are any of those for sale?
committee, as Mayor Corey has said, needs to meet with the state and with, the town, you know, to make some decisions about what the priorities are
But they're paying for them.
for various properties throughout the township.
If I can just make one quick comment to your point, or just to give some clarity. We're this close to the cap, this close to the goal of 33%. This would put us at the 33%. You know, what the goal was for preservation in the town. Is this the best property to preserve?
Still
in
not
the
for
town?
sale.
that's.
And the last
Yeah.
part.
Is this basically the last property we're gonna preserve unless we agree to
No,
change?
you can go
it?
over the cap.
Go over 33%.
And it has to go by also relying,
Can't they go over the cap?
reviewing the information that Laura Jones has,